everybody, it's Marcia Regan, and I'm delighted to be coming into you today with this feast and famine. So what I'm hearing from quite a few people actually, but in fact the last week, the whole idea of this feast and famine, I thought I would actually cover it. I'm just actually going to share this out into my Ancient Divine Feminine. If you're not in the Ancient Divine Feminine, I would highly recommend you join, because I come in specifically and do designated private Facebook healings in that group. So if you want to be part of that, it's Ancient Divine Feminine Calling. And but for tonight, exceptionally, I'm going to post it. I'm doing it from here, from my live page, but normally I would be doing it from in the private Ancient Divine Feminine group. So I'm going to welcome a few people that join me. Hi Suzanne, hi Caroline. So I want to, well, this is going to be channeled, so as you know, I'm going to see what comes in on this one. I just want to talk a little bit maybe about the whole feast and famine from my perspective of what I feel is happening. And why, hi Karen, why it is worth being aware of, all right? Hi Christelle. So this whole feast and famine, being Irish, I know, actually two things are coming in now. So the first thing I know is that if you have any Irish in your DNA or in your heritage or in your lineage, in any shape or form, you are going to have the memories of the famine in Ireland. And what I have, what's come in actually in quite a few of my healings, because I'd say 95% of the women I work with have got some, are either Irish or have some Irish connections in some shape or form. And the memory, even when it comes to having money and having abundance in your life, it's like, you know what? The unconscious belief is, it doesn't matter because it'll be taken from me anyway. Now, I don't want to be here. This is not about slagging off what's gone on in the history and slagging off the English, because maybe you and I, in another past life, were English. So, and to be honest, I have to say, when I was 19 and Ireland couldn't give me a job, even though I worked with Aer Lingus, the Irish airline, I actually went to the UK and I loved every minute of the UK. So, but what I want to bring up here about this whole feast and famine aspect is that there's quite a high likelihood that if you are experiencing this, oh, absolutely, Susanna, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Absolutely, great question. So Susanna here is asking, do you think that the memory of the famine is also linked to safety? Totally. And I'll tell you why in a minute. So let me just talk about the whole feast and famine situation. Is that this feast and famine is that on an unconscious level, the famine really was that, well, first of all, you had no control because you were controlled by the English, by the famine, and it appeared that we had no controls. That was one form of control. And then the other aspect, in relation to what you were saying actually about the memory of the famine, is a link to safety, that you did not feel safe. You had no power. That was the conditioning, right? And also the other aspect of that is the fear that was instilled in the consequence of you having money. Now, I'm going to share a personal past life that I witnessed, and as a result of that, it helped me on two levels. Firstly, I know for a fact when I work now in past lives with clients, I ensure that they will never relive the reality of the past life, whereas I relived a past life experience where I feel was me in the famine. And I saw myself as a man holding, those pouches that they had of gold coins, and I was beaten to death, and I passed. And I'm not sure, it was such a traumatic experience. I wasn't sure if I had stolen the money or if I was actually too mean, that I had too much money and I wouldn't give it to the poor. So I haven't got that clarity on it. But those kind of memories, and maybe that's why today I am overly generous. But those kind of memories still live in us. And what I want to do, my intention for this session is to really go into the energy for each one of you. So as I'm speaking, you are going to take whatever it is your soul wants you to take from it, even though it may not be necessarily the exact replica. You will get some benefit from this healing in relation to this feast and famine. The other thing about the feast and famine is, in relation to the safety, is it's, you're kind of are not safe when you have it, and you're not safe when you don't have it. And also, if you do have it, it might be taken away from you. The other aspect of this whole famine phenomena is that is the fear, like we're talking life or death here. It's like this determines whether you live or you die. So that kind of fear goes in on a bone level. And I really actually feel that in the last couple of years, we are healing on a bone level. Now, when we die, the only thing that's left of us in physical form is the bone. So when that came in for me as guidance, I was like, oh my God, like this is big stuff. So if we can heal on the bone level, and this is why actually sometimes you can feel the physical discomfort on a bone level. So that's also part of my intention, to not to just take it out of the cellular memory, but to take it out of the bone level, because I'm finding that this is actually what makes my sessions with clients so powerful, and why they're getting such incredible results is because I'm going really, really on a bone level, which is like the last. It's where everything. It's what's left. So it's really, really important. So I just want to get a sound. Like, does this resonate with you, ladies? Does it resonate? Am I on the ball? I'd love some feedback on what you're taking. Is it because I don't want to be coming in here projecting, but I do feel that I tune in and it comes kind of through me, but still it is always nice to kind of get some interaction to see what you're taking is in this, because I'm not doing this alone, right? Like we're in this together. So I'd love just a yes, or any other kind of any add-on that you want to add on that could actually help others watching this replay or watching us live. Because you know what, we are in this together. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tune in and just going to see who comes in here, and we'll take it from there. So I want you to take a breath in, and on the out breath, surrender. Wow, and so straight away, actually, what I'm getting in here is that this is also linked, this memory of famine is linked to victimhood. So, and I feel that a lot of women, that we go into this victimhood consciousness based on what has gone before us, but we have to remind ourselves that today, 2020 and beyond, there are no victims, because we are much more, we have much more higher consciousness, and we are the creators of our lives. And even if you could be saying to me, yeah, well, it's, it's easy for you to say, Marcia, I didn't want this, that, and the other. And I'm like, you know what? every single experience that you have, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, you are going to grow from. And I have to say, one of my worst experiences that I've had in, any of my difficult experiences, but the worst experience in my life, I have say thank you, God, because I grew so much, and I'm a much better, bigger, brighter, braver person today because of that experience. And there's something liberating from that experience. And actually, when we talk about control, nobody can control you when you are living from that place, right? So this is something that's a really, really important thing that's kind of coming in here as I'm like literally just connecting in this very second. So I want you to take on board that that wisdom that's coming in. And so now I want you to take another breath in. And on the out breath, I want you to let go. And I want you to take another breath in here. And what I'm getting is that I want you to tune in with your body. And I want you to observe how your body is feeling. And this feast or famine consciousness, because it's a field of consciousness, on a scale of 0 to 10 without judgment, 10 being very strong, where are you on the scale of 0 to 10 of this of linking in to the consciousness of feast or famine? The other thing that I'm getting here is that this feast and famine consciousness is linked to kind of a belonging or a duty, or maybe a vow that you, now this is surprising me because it's just coming in now, a vow that you made, a vow that you made around poverty. Okay, so I'm just going to search here because I think I have something about vows. This is something that I had not intended, so give me a minute. Because I know in my Inner Wealth Academy, I did something on vows that was very powerful. So I'm actually going to do that. Give me a minute. But tune in there while I'm doing it. Wow, okay. You know what? I just love spirit. I love this work. Okay, so we're going to do this, right? So take a deep breath in and let go. I want you to take another breath in now, and I want you to come back into yourself, because this is about you. We have no control of other people. We are only responsible for ourselves. And the moment that we get that, the moment you're going to really start experiencing freedom, okay? So I want you to take another breath in and come back into your own heart, into your own energy. And on the out breath, I want you now to release any and all of other people's energies that have no business in your field. Wonderful ladies. Hi, Kat. Yeah, great ladies, thanks. Yeah, totally agree with you, Mel. Okay, so now I want you to still tune in with your heart, and I want you to feel this pull of energy from your heart down into your solar plexus, your sacral, your hips, your legs, your feet, down into the floor, through the rocks and lava, and down into the heart of Mother Earth. And as you anchor into the heart of Mother Earth, what I'm getting here is just that I want you to repeat this mantra after me, is I matter. And this I matter is, I matter, I am worthy, I am deserving, and I matter. Anchoring down into the heart of Mother Earth. And this is really, I matter also is about taking up the space that's been created for you, and not being answerable to anybody in dimming your light, because you There is a space for all of us that has been created, and it's your duty, it's your divine right to really, really take up the space and stand and be seen, right? Not to fit in, but to stand out and really take up all the space that's been created for you on this planet. Now we're going to call in pure absolute divine love, the highest consciousness. I do that because I connect in with God's source, and then I know everybody is safe, right? So just feel this high frequency divine source energy just pour down from the cosmos, from the heart of source, down in through your whole body. And down into your feet, down into the floor, through the rocks and lava, and down into the heart of Mother Earth. And now feel this divine source energy plugging into Earth, into the heart of Mother Earth. And like a vortex of light, of activation, it's moving up through the earth, down, up into your feet, up through your legs, into the trunk of your body, into your heart, moving around 360 degrees through every cell, every atom, every organ, every layer of your skin, into your energy, into the room you're in, the home you're in, the street you're in, the country you're in, and out through the whole wide world. And beyond. And I'm going to call in all of your guides. Wow, guys, this is actually a big one. And I'm seeing all of your ancestors come in. All of them are coming in. Wow, this is big. All of your ancestors are coming in. And they want to be freed. And they love you so much. And you're doing this for you and for all of your ancestors. I want you to say these words that I am going to repeat after me, slowly and gently. And I want you to observe the vibration of these words and how it affects, how your body is being affected by these words, right? Your vibration, your body, and your energy. Okay. So, as the master of my destiny and the creator of my reality, I accept that all contracts, agreements, and any and all formal vows that I have ever made were not made by the truth that I am, my I am presence. I nullify now all contracts and agreements in relation to poverty, lack, connections to feast and famine, known or unknown, seen or unseen, remembered and forgotten, throughout all cellular and physical memory and memory on a bone level, and my subconscious mind that are now fully and completely released. And I want you to blow out through your mouth. I now release, relinquish, and surrender any formal and informal vows I may have made as a monk or a nun. That includes the vow of poverty, the vow of chastity, the vow of silence, agreements of victimhood, codependency and martyrdom, as well as anything else believed, imagined, agreed to, or assumed by my ego. I now appoint my own divine authority and divine source, God of the highest frequency. These vows to be cleared, released out of my energetic field, physical body, emotional body, and mental body. Oh, I'm getting dizzy here. Release. I cancel, clear, delete, and destroy all aspects of feast and famine through all time or space, multi-dimensionally, backwards and forwards. And I ask that I am completely returned to the purity, wholeness, and perfection of eternal light and abundance now. As of this moment, I now reclaim my complete and absolute power so that I am fully abundant. And I activate and embody a new heart-centered consciousness where wealth and abundance is present, where the heart-centered consciousness heals, awakens, rebirths, and liberates one and all as I am now. I request this 3 times, so be it. Take a deep breath and release. I want you to observe your body. Cross your hands over your knees to ground and anchor that in. Wow. Now I'm seeing that all of the ancestors have literally, they're like, they've gone, they're literally disappeared. They're like, yay, we're free. So on a scale of 0 to 10, where are you? Where are we in relation to feast and famine? 0 being there's no feast or famine consciousness now anymore. 10 is it's quite strong. So can you let me know there to see if I need to do any more work there? Hi Pa, Honorary Man. So what have you got there, ladies and guys? Hi Mary. Hi Louisa. So where are we after that? I just need to check in to see if we need to be ideally at a 0 or a 1. If you're at a 1, then you need to go back and look at this, redo this video again. And I'll put this on YouTube actually, because I think it's a really powerful one. So what have you got, guys? 3. Okay, 0 to 1, brilliant. Okay, Caroline, you need to watch that. Can I just ask you, Caroline? Let me choose there a minute. I want to see what's keeping. Yeah, what are you getting that's keeping you at a 3? I'll tell you what I'm getting, and let me know. Loyalty. It's so interesting. This is what I love this work, is that there's so many layers to this. Let me tune in now. We can do with this loyalty. Let me know if it resonates with you, but I'm going to do it anyway, because if it's not you, it'll be someone else. Let me tune in a minute. Okay, I now release, repeat after me, I now release any and all vows of loyalty that goes against me. It's yours. And I want you to blow that out through a divine filter, and we're going to send that back down to divine source. So send that to divine source, right? Think to fear. So the number you should be aiming for is 0, because in relation to the feast and famine, if it's a 10, it's really strong. And if it's a 0, it means the energy is no longer there. So the aim is to get you at 0 to 1. Okay, so let's go into fear, because you're probably not the only one that's going to fear. So what is the fear? The fear of the consequence. So can we go into that fear there for a minute, please? Yeah, I'm getting fear is an illusion. I mean, I know we know that, but it's really coming in. I'm getting this fear is being kind of noticed. You know, it's easier to put your head down, rising in my chest. Okay, so let's just have a look at the rising in your chest. I'm going to go into the energy of that, okay, for a minute. And I want you to see what color it is. And I want you to blow that out through divine filter. It's being transformed into pure divine love, light, truth, and wisdom. And it's being transformed completely. And now we're going to do that 3 times. Through divine filters, being transformed to pure divine love, light, truth, and wisdom. You do not need this this is not safety. You do not do this. And I want to thank it now. And you're setting it. I set you free and I'm free. And I want you to hit on your K27 here, right? Just underneath your collarbone, right? Hitting your K27. I release all aspects of fear now. I release all aspects of fear now. I'm going to just take it. I can feel it in the chest as well. So I'm just going to take that out. I set myself free. I am free. I set myself free. Yeah, oh my God, that's a big one, Jarita. So, hold on a minute. Let me just do this bit first and I'm going to check. Okay, Archangel Michael, can you come in and cut any cords on the chest, any cords to fear, any cords to lack, any cords to loss now, through all time, space, generations, multidimensionally, backwards and forwards. Now, what I'm seeing here is that some of you have got these wires at your feet. I want you to step out of these wires now. Step out of them, or you can jump out of them now. And I want you to step into your divine truth. Your divine truth of abundance and wealth and happiness. I want you to stand into that. And I want you to just shake your hands to get rid of any other residue. And we're ending this with I matter. So we started with the word I matter, or the mantra I matter, and getting it again to close. I matter. And this I matter also is I am deserving. I just want to see now where we are on a scale of 0 to 10. Feast and famine. How active is that in you? This can be healed like this. You choose, right? What have we got? Where are we, girls? I want you also, I know there's quite a few watching this that are in my Inner Wealth Activator. I'd highly, highly, highly recommend that program. Go and have a look at it and see if it resonates, because, brilliant, okay, I'm delighted. 0, great, Crystal. Because there's the reason that I have made this lifetime access in the activator is because there are so many layers to this. And the big thing when I was channeled this, I was thinking, yeah, money, and it's not like, it's never about the money. It's always about the fear. And then the other thing about that program is actually, it's about upgrading your self-worth. It's about grounding. It's about clearing your energy. It's about healing and getting rid of projections from others. And the other thing that kind of came to me as well, about 6 months ago, is about the word culture, sorry. And in the word culture is cult. And having, being away from Ireland 28 years and coming back, it's just like, I really feel, oh, I'm delighted, Suzanne. I really feel that there still is this consciousness in Ireland where they do not celebrate someone's success. They are great to criticize. They don't want you to get above your station. Who do you think you are? And that actually, on a subconscious level, affects you. And despite all the work, and despite that I am the channel of this energy, I found myself having the awareness of me not allowing myself to, to have a better car, because I have like an old car at the moment as a temporary measure. Now, temporary measure, we're talking like 4 or 5 months in, and I'm like, I don't want to draw attention to myself. Being out and about, my husband, he thinks I'm the bee's knees in cat's pajamas. And he was saying to me, he was like, I was speaking to this person, and, you've never said what you do. I was like, oh, yeah. And he's like, you really need to start sharing what you do. But I was kind of keeping this low profile. And kind of and maybe also that might be the fact that I'm kind of getting used to a new country, have been away. But I actually could feel, because I'm such a sensitive, I could feel the consciousness, and also complaining that we've got no control, or things like, the Monday blues. And like, I'm like, I don't have Monday blues. Like, that is not my reality. So this kind of cult of like, not having enough money, and, saying that you've got no control. You know what? There's always enough money. There's always more than enough to go around. And you and I and everybody else have to get out of our own way and stop telling ourselves the stories of limitation. And it's these kinds of things that, even though you're doing this, there are, as you've seen in this session, that these are the things that actually do play this feast and famine that's in the lineage, that's in the bone, that we have to kind of get rid of, because it is not true. And in doing that, we are freeing ourselves, we're freeing our ancestors. I can't believe, like, this room is empty here. Like, when I started this, like, all these beings came in, and they are literally gone. They're like, we're done here. But also what we're doing is we're doing it for our children and the future generation and our grandchildren. And this, like, if you wanted a why, this is your why, right? Suzanne, thank you, darling. I celebrate you too, sweetness. So I want you to cross over your hands now, and I want you to honor yourself. I want you to honor yourself for showing up. I want you to honor yourself for all the inner work that you're doing. I want you to honor yourself for keeping going. And I want you to honor yourself for being honest with yourself. Because you know what? Sometimes the most difficult thing is to be honest with ourselves. To take a good long look and say, yeah, that's my shadow, all right, I can see that about me. But then I also know that I have great strengths. So all we're doing is we're trying to get into this oneness and this alignment of our divine truth, which is abundance. And particularly this year, when we're in the number 4, which is associated with green. If there was ever a time to be abundant, it's this year. And I want for you to fully experience this level of abundance on a divine level. And I was, as part of my clearing out process, I found this card, and I have it now, that I'm going to keep that in my desk. And it's like, relax, God is in charge. And what I really know to be true is God, or divine source, or the universe, whatever you call that equivalent, they have your best interests if you could just allow them to help you. And when you partner with the divine, great magic happens. So that is it for me. I'm wishing you an amazing evening, rest of the day for those of you in the US. I love you lots, and I'll be back in tomorrow. I'm not sure what time, but I'll be back in tomorrow doing some more magic. All right, darlings, take care. And I'll put a link in about that activator just for you to check it out. And if it resonates, then I'd love to see you in there. And I'm actually next week going to be doing another round. Like every quarter we do kind of a rerun. I go into kind of a whole other energy because there's so many different layers. So I'll be doing that again as of Monday. So on top of the videos that you'll be accessing, you'll get healings like this as well. Thanks for the hearts, darlings. Bye.